My business partner begged me to fire the ex-convict everyone warned me about. 5 years later, that same man walked into our office and did something that made my partner break down crying. His application had a 7-year gap under work history. Most employers would have thrown it straight in the trash without reading another word. I almost did the same thing until I noticed his handwriting at the bottom. I made mistakes. I paid for them. I just want a chance to prove I'm not that person anymore. His name was Raymond Holt. He was 42 years old, had spent 7 years in state prison for armed robbery, and was applying for a warehouse position at my small furniture distribution company. Every other employer in town had already rejected him. I knew because he'd written a list of everywhere he'd applied on the back of his resume. 37 places. 37 rejections. My business partner Connie thought I'd lost my mind. You want to hire a convicted felon? Someone who held up a convenience store with a gun? What happens when he robs us too? I didn't have a good answer. Something about Raymond's application just stuck with me. The honesty, the desperation, the fact that he'd listed his crime right there instead of trying to hide it. I called him in for an interview. He showed up 15 minutes early wearing a suit that didn't quite fit, probably borrowed or bought from a thrift store. His hands shook the entire time we talked. He told me he'd been 24 when he robbed that store, high on meth, running with people who convinced him that easy money was better than hard work. I hurt people, he said, looking at the floor. Not physically, but I traumatized a teenage cashier who still has nightmares according to the victim impact statement. I think about her every day. He'd gotten clean in prison, earned his GED, took every rehabilitation program they offered, read over 300 books in 7 years. He wanted to work. He wanted to be useful. Wanted to prove he could be something other than the worst thing he'd ever done. I hired him on the spot. Connie barely spoke to me for a week. Other employees were nervous. I told them Raymond deserved a chance, and if they couldn't accept that,